Preston Cody here from Wood Mac. He's going to be giving the webinar this coming Wednesday, our September. We are in September. Our September webinar. Had to think about that for a second, and we're excited to have him. Looking forward to that webinar. Right now, we're doing a brief interview to kind of get to know him and so that you can see who he is and what he's about. And so we'll start off pretty simply. Preston, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thanks, Ronnie. Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Preston Cody, and I grew up in Houston and lived here most of my life. Went off to college in the late 90s, and that was during the big dot-com boom, and I was really into computers and technology at the time. So did economics and computer science at Princeton and had a career in technology, which was a lot of fun. And then in the mid 2000s, I went back to business school. I came back to Texas. I really missed it. So I went to UT, did an MBA, and graduated into the shale gas revolution. So kind of returned to my roots and got into the oil and gas business. Had a really fun ride on that the whole time. Married, I've got 3 kids. We're raising them actually in the same neighborhood I grew up in. So really came full circle. They're right now they're in middle school and elementary school, so that means lots of little league sports and um, musical theater type stuff for me on the weekends, which I love doing. So that's me.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, the kids are always fun. I have 5 of my own, so I
Oh,
know that.
okay, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. In this environment, it's been kind of difficult, trying to keep them active and everything, and keep them happy. So
No
yeah,
kidding.
yeah, for sure,
Well,
right.
now and here comes school again, so hopefully that goes all right.
Yeah, yeah. This will be interesting. So, well, tell me a little bit about WoodMac and what you do there.
Okay, yeah, for those of you who don't know, WoodMac is a research and consultancy. We serve the energy industry. We have for decades. We're considered one of the leading companies, especially on the commercial advisory side. So we do work on energy assets globally for valuing them, market intelligence, really helping both the kind of investment community and operators in the various energy industries make strategic decisions about their business. Um, I've worked at WoodMac for about 10 years now, and half of that time I spent as a consultant working with mostly upstream oil and gas companies. Mentioned earlier, a lot of that was how to play shale, how to either ramp up your operations if you did have a position or if you didn't, whether you should, how it fits into your portfolio. In 2015, WoodMac was acquired by Verisk Analytics. That's more of a data analytic company. It's really a technology company. They're a big publicly listed S&P 500 company, and they serve the insurance and banking sectors, helping them manage risk through industry-wide data consortiums and some advanced analytics, especially around risk modeling. So they saw energy, again, this is back in 2015, they saw a sector really underserved um, in terms of data management and just beginning to really employ analytics. So they thought acquiring WoodMac would be a great way to enter that vertical and use WoodMac and our expertise as a platform for building out data analytics for energy. So at that point, I started a team. It's called the Analytics Lab, and we've been working on R&D and pilot projects with the industry around data and analytics. So it's a team I've led at WoodMac, building it up over the last few years and starting to do some cool work, which is going to be what we're going to talk about on the webinar on Wednesday.
That sounds cool. I'm excited about that. I'm really looking forward to this one for sure, for sure.
Great.
So yeah, definitely. So it seems like that acquisition actually kind of aided you in being able to do a little bit more on this front. So is
Hmm.
that pretty much how it worked
Yeah,
out?
yeah, it was great. I got to, I mentioned that I did have a background in technology and software, and for those of you doing data analytic work now, it does take some of those coding skill sets and whatnot. So it's
Mhm.
been nice to bring that skill set back to the forefront. Um, these kind of waves come and go in the industry, and I think it's a really exciting time for professionals in energy to learn about data and to develop kind of that analytic thinking.
Yeah, totally agree with that. I think it is very exciting to watch it kind of all unfold, and it feels like it's getting more important even now in this environment. Do you feel that it's kind of pushed that kind of analytical and data science, data analytics thinking to the forefront because it seems like it's way more important now?
Yeah, it had a increasing impact on our industry, probably starting 2 or 3 years ago. Of course, some companies have been at this for a lot longer, um, but then especially with unconventional resources, as it became clear that it's almost more of a statistical play or an empirical play. It brought a new kind of problem for uh, analysts to solve using these techniques. I think given the situation we're in now, where operators are under a lot of pressure to maintain profitability and to manage risks, um, it is really important for if you are a data scientist, or if you're providing data to your organization, to help companies, help your management make better decisions about the business and really manage a lot of these risks that are obviously threatening the viability of a lot of the activities especially in the oil and gas space. And it's not just now with the kind of oversupply on the market that we need to worry about, but then we know we need to be thinking ahead on energy transition and how to manage that. And it's so, yeah, a lot more uncertainty than I think what we're probably more used to dealing with, which is more of the subsurface uncertainty and reservoir performance. There's now all these other external factors at play too that we got to take into account.
No, yeah, I totally agree. So do you feel like that maybe is the biggest hurdle, or do you feel that what would be the biggest hurdle that us as an industry, the oil and gas industry, need to overcome in order to unlock all this potential, all this new data that we're doing, that we're creating and learning how to utilize it, and why would that be the biggest hurdle? What do you feel like that would be?
Well, I think we're still stuck on data. I think that, yeah, we have a lot of it, but it's not what you would call analytics ready.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the biggest struggle for most companies is the amount of effort and attention that would go into preparing data for the type of analytics we want to do. These techniques are very sensitive to data completeness and data quality issues, and the algorithms don't know that that well's not 100 feet long. Like they're not going to catch
Mm-hmm.
that sort of thing. So I think it really does up the requirements on data integration and data quality, and it's something that admittedly, as an industry, we've not historically put as much. We've not focused on that as much. It's not a core competency. It's probably the number one complaint that you hear from people today. Now, there are a few companies that have, again, they've made these multi-year investments in data assets, and they're probably benefiting the most, taking advantage of these new techniques and making better decisions. So again, on Wednesday, I'm looking forward to kind of getting into more, what would it take to get our data assets into an analytics ready state, and how we as an industry can accelerate this by working together in collaboration with each other on some of this core data work that we'd all benefit from.
All right. Well, like I said, I look forward to hearing what you have to say on Wednesday, and we do have the invitation out there. If you haven't had a chance, please check our LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, all the social media. We're all on all those, and go ahead and register for the webinar. I am really excited. Can't wait to see it. Thanks, Preston. It was
Yeah,
it was
thank you,
great
Ronnie.
talking to you today, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
All right.